electric charging, camera mirrors, check-in with the bank card, sexy looks, oh my days. The list keeps going. These are Amsterdam's brand new e-buses. These buses are absolutely insane. But are they too good? I was first exposed to these buses when I took a morning trip to Rozenveld in the summer of 2022. And I remember sitting on the bus thinking, oh, wow, this bus is so quiet. And then I looked at the mirrors outside. I said, oh, damn, where did the mirrors go? Crazy. And if you take a look at the people walking in the background, something that I've noticed about Amsterdammers and people in Amsterdam is that nobody seems to care about these buses at all. These are a world leader in bus technology. They're so advanced, and nobody ever seems to take a second look at them. And whenever I'm around them, and this is why I made my channel, is to show you the beauty of civil engineering, I'm freaking out. I'm taking pictures. I'm looking. I'm admiring. I think these buses are crazy. And this goes for any piece of civil infrastructure. If you slow down and look at it, you'll be very surprised. This video will cover two main aspects about these buses, among some other equally as cool and possibly even cooler smaller things. The first thing that this video will touch on is the mirrors. The cameras? The camera mirrors? The second thing that you will notice about these buses is a strange structure right here, and you will also notice a gray pole right over here. What are those? Well, I'll get into that a little bit later, but for now, just know that this is how the electric bus charges to Amsterdam's electrical grid. For now, a tram is approaching, and I absolutely love trams, so let's take a break and let's quickly listen in, just for the pure enjoyment of it. Let's begin by listening to how quiet these buses are when they pass. That bus passed me at less than 1 meter away from me, and all you could hear was the noise of the tires on the asphalt. That is insane, and not having a diesel or gasoline engine really benefits everybody around this bus, especially when it passes, perhaps through a neighborhood area, as they do. Now, this clip is very interesting. Here on the left approaching is a diesel bus, followed by an electric bus, so again we can hear the comparison between the two. The difference in person especially is very evident. Yeah, I also had this guy on the left giving me a bit of a funny look when he passed by. But no need to worry, mate. Just out here taking pictures of buses. Not a problem. Anyways, we just heard the difference between a diesel bus and an electric bus when they pass. That was insane, and you heard the rumble on the diesel bus. The electric bus is far superior, especially when these are dispatched in a neighborhood residential area. In that type of an area, the less emitted pollution and noise pollution on the part of the electric bus renders them far superior than the diesel bus, and they just look nicer in my opinion. The cameras, the absolute kernel of this video. Instead of having normal side view facing mirrors, just like you would see in any bus around the world, these buses have cameras which show them everything and more than a normal mirror could. I had this explained to me by a Dutch bus driver, and I will convey the information I received then. Here in this top housing, there are 3 different infrared sensors which enhance the visibility of the camera with 5 different settings for vision. Here we can see the settings, including day or night mode, mirror adjustments, automatic mode, dimming settings, and auxiliary heating, which can all be controlled by the driver. Also encased in this housing is a wide view camera together with a narrow view camera which play simultaneously on 2 screens set up on either side of the driver, which I'll show you next and that you can kind of already see in this clip. After speaking with the bus driver and hearing similar conversations among other bus drivers, all the drivers absolutely love the wide view camera in particular. This is because in a normal city bus, school bus, or any other type of bus with side view facing mirrors, a wide view lens is almost never provided in these housings of normal mirrors. And when they are, this type of lens is either distorted, wrongly angled, or plain too small. Therefore, this type of wide view camera greatly increases the safety of not only the bus driver, not only the people inside of the bus, but to surrounding motorists as well, and it limits damages as the visibility around the bus is also increased. I can't even begin to explain to you how proud I am to have filmed this clip. Here I've cropped the bus driver's face, just to show you the type of technology at the bus driver's disposal, namely the two screens on the left and the right in the normal sight line that normal mirrors would otherwise provide. These screens I will zoom in a second, but for now I want to show you and listen to the ambiance inside of these buses. Man, that's such a cool ambiance. When I first came to the Netherlands, one of my favorite things to do to this day is just travel by bus anywhere in the country. And I find it such a cool experience just to be in that ambiance, like I said. Now, here I'm going to pause the video and talk about a few different things that are going on, a few small things. Earlier in this very clip, you noticed that this bus is traveling on a bus line, a dedicated and protected bus and tramway. Now, this is a topic for a future video, but for now, I find it absolutely insane how these buses have the ability to travel on a dedicated right-of-way away from traffic, which is especially useful during peak hours in the morning and in the evening. Therefore, this is what makes the bus a viable transportation option, especially in Amsterdam. Next, you will notice, what do you call that? An attention grabber? I don't know what the name for that is, but it's really cool. If you press the stop button, and I noticed this on any bus in the Netherlands, you press the stop button, these lights will light up red to show the bus driver that, hey, there's a passenger that wants to get out. And this is especially cool at night. I find that these are really cool pieces of technology, just inconspicuous and out of the way. Next, I'm going to tell you about these screens. Every bus run by GVB and Tram, GVB, the transport provider here in Amsterdam, have these screens installed. These screens are really cool. They have multiple different capabilities, namely, as a driver, you can sell tickets, so they have ticket selling capabilities. You can receive communication from the center control about route information, any changes, any updates or so. This screen also tells information about the route itself, and you can also tell information about the bus. What is the battery status? Does the bus need to charge? And these screens are just really cool and versatile pieces of technology that will assist surely with the drivers of buses and trams of GVB. Here we see yet another screen. I find that these instrument panels in front of the bus driver are so smooth and efficient, and as a driver, you don't have to worry about looking at 25 different gauges and dials anymore. This screen is really cool, especially because these buses have 3 sets of doors in the front, middle, and rear of the bus with their own camera feeds. When the bus stops and the bus driver opens the door, these camera feeds are shown live on this screen. And I've noticed that the really experienced bus drivers look at this screen when people are entering from the front, and when people have exited the bus, these drivers close the back 2 sets of doors so that nobody can sneak in and not pay for the fare. This way, the bus driver has full control over the people entering in the front of the bus, and he can make sure that everybody scans their chip card and pays for the route fare. This is the real deal that I want to show you in this video. If there's one thing in this video that you remember, I hope it is this. Take a look at the camera mirror displays. First of all, note their amazing picture quality and resolution. Next, you will notice 3 sets of lines, red, orange, and green. The red line is the second set of wheels on the bus, namely the middle of the bus. The orange line is the back of the bus. And the green line is really interesting. I want to talk to you guys about. It is 35 meters behind the bus. I stopped the video here to tell you about a design flaw of these buses. Can you believe it? When I spoke with this bus driver, they told me that the green line in the back of the bus is actually always supposed to be moving. But a design flaw of this bus is that around a turn, this green line never moves and it always is stationary. Therefore, this green line never accurately depicts 35 meters behind the bus in the event of a turn. This is really interesting, and I recommend to the manufacturer to look into this. How can you optimize this green line indeed? This bus and the one now passing on the left are also electric buses from the same diesel to electric transition program as the newer ones that I showed you earlier. I paused the video here to illustrate one last point why the camera mirrors are superior to this type. This type of mirror is something you would see on any bus around the world these days. But one drawback is look at the overall width of the bus. If you have mirrors like this sticking far out to the sides, this is far less compatible with the urban environment than the camera system is. Think about it from a driver perspective. If you're a driver and you have the cameras, you don't have to worry about navigating tight obstacles, especially in a city like Amsterdam, or even when you park the bus in the warehouse at night. One common problem faced by bus drivers around the world is causing damage to either the vehicle itself or other property as I've described by hitting the mirrors. Therefore, the camera system reigns superior to protruding side mirrors on the basis of width alone. Now, I pose a question to my economists viewing this video, especially one that I can think of. Would you agree with me when I say that retrofitting existing buses or buying new buses with existing cameras is a worthy investment as a company in the long run? I argue that if these cameras could be made modular and legalized in many more countries, especially in the USA where I'm from, this would have very good economic benefits to any company who buys them. This is because all mirror-involved accidents would effectively be eliminated or greatly reduced, thereby saving the company a lot of money in the long run from repairing the vehicles or insurance claims caused by other parties. Ooh, that's all about the camera mirrors that I wanted to show you. Before we move on to the charging portion of the video, I wanted to acknowledge that I have only been showing you buses from Citea VDL. There exist other e-bus manufacturers such as eBus Co, MAN, and Mercedes-Benz, Oak with camera mirrors, also with camera mirrors. The differences between the buses lies in minor details on the inside, but also major structural details like the locations of the battery packs. Are the battery packs on the top of the bus, the bottom of the bus, or the back of the bus, and how does this affect the handling of the bus, especially lean around corners? This is a very physics-based topic that unfortunately goes into mechanical engineering, which I don't have expertise in, but it is a very fascinating topic nonetheless. Did you see that? In the span of 15 seconds, I showed you how easy it is for a bus to pull up underneath this structure and connect to the grid and start charging if it is low on battery. I also showed you how fast it is for a bus to retract its arm downward and pull away, just like this guy on the left is about to do. Wait, this guy on the left? What is he doing? He's making faces at me. What a legend. What's up, big bro? How are you doing? But yeah, this just goes to show how easy it is to implement this type of charging infrastructure. This is by Schiphol Airport, and how easy it is to charge these buses. However, this transition program from all diesel buses to all electric buses has definitely not been an easy project. I took a look at Helio's website, one of the managers for the charging of this project, for more information about challenges, solutions, and results to this project. I will try to summarize them in the next few clips. However, I don't have an electrical engineering background, so I can't get into technical details in these next few clips, but I'll sure try to summarize it for you. One thing that the website discussed was that they implemented bright lights to help the drivers identify which charging spots are open. From a civil engineering perspective, I find this absolutely fascinating because the accessibility of the charging spot itself has been optimized by the use of such bright lights. But are the bright LED lights the only thing helping to guide these drivers? How do you know as a driver when and where to stop your vehicle to connect the pantograph to the charging station? Well, there is one very small detail I guarantee you would have never noticed if you were to approach this bus. Look at this yellow line. These bus drivers are taught to center the door together with the yellow line. Here it is not centered, and if we look at the pantograph on the top, the pantograph is also not centered. It's a little bit towards the back. If the bus driver was to center the door with the yellow line, this pantograph would also be centered. And finally, here's again the bright light. It is blue colored to show that the bus is currently in charging state. I will conclude the video by discussing a few small and niche innovations that these buses have in their design, which again, make them a world leader in my opinion. I will first start by telling you about these two indentations in the front of the bus. I can't even imagine the face that I made when the bus driver explained this to me because this absolutely blew my mind. These two are small indentations for speakers. These are speakers that hum when the bus goes below 20 kilometers an hour, and they have been developed for blind people, elderly people, and disabled people who might otherwise not see a bus approaching but could hear the humming, especially around corners. I was unable to film this in progress because it's almost impossible, but when you sit in the front of the bus, pay attention when the bus goes below 20 kilometers an hour. You will hear a very distinct humming noise. And I think that's such a cool and inclusive innovation on the part of these buses. Another aspect of these buses that I want to discuss is the interior. It was actually impossible for me to film a Geve Bay bus from the inside because there are always people and they always are so sketchy about you filming them. So instead, I went to Schiphol Airport and I went to the shuttle, which is made by the same company, Citea VDL, and has a very similar build. The modernity of these e-buses never ceases to amaze me. This is what a proper bus in 2023 should look like. Hey USA, when can I expect your buses to look like this? I'll be waiting! And just quickly panning through some other aspects of the interior of this particular bus, look at the seats. They're so clean and modern. This particular bus has also been retrofitted to accommodate for wheelchairs, baggages, and little children's strollers, just like you see here. I think it's really cool how these buses are able to be customized, especially for Schiphol Airport, when they're used for travelers and for many different purposes. Next, I'd like to show you this clip. I expect a lot of people to ask me, hey, what do the camera mirrors look like at night? Well, here you go. But the main reason why I wanted to show you this clip is because this is a humid night and look at what's happening to the windshield. Here's an interesting application of ventilation systems at the front of the bus. If you're a bus driver watching this video, a natural question that you might ask is, these buses look nice, but can they also heavily be utilized? Can they deliver? Can they be a robust alternative to what we have now? And the answer is absolutely yes, they can. When I was taking this ride, this bus driver was really struggling to figure out the ventilation, but he got it in the end. And after 4 minutes about filming this clip, the windshield was once again clean. So I think that's really cool. The final aspect of these buses that I want to talk to you are these two devices right over here. Of course, everybody knows the device on the left. If you need a ticket, you ask the bus driver, hey, I'd like a 1-day, 3-day, and various other option of ticket. You punch in your number, swipe your card, and you will have a ticket. But it's the device on the right I want to talk to you about. This device is very interesting. Here in the Netherlands, we have a one-card check-in system called the OV chipkaart for public transit. This is for sure a topic for another video, but for now, this white device is used when you want to check in. You tap your OV chipkaart on the signal that says tap, and you've checked in, and when you leave the bus, you check out. Recently, at the end of 2022, they released an update where you can now check in and check out using your bank debit card. That is insane. And what happens is you also tap just like an OV chip card, and the fare between the two stops that you checked in and checked out will be accurately displayed on your bank account. That is so cool. And I think that's such an easy and more accessible way to travel. To conclude, It is going to be a very interesting sight to see when Amsterdam fully electrifies their bus fleet by the end of 2023 or early 2024. Now, to answer the original question in the thumbnail that I posted earlier in this video, are these buses by Citea VDL and others too good? Not for Amsterdam, but definitely for the USA. Because after all, to get from these 1950s era buses to these new electric 2023 buses takes a hell of a path. Anyways, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been A Young Engineer.